What's up, everybody? Jimmy Faluca reporting with Frank. Frank, how's it going, buddy?
Over here, very good.
All right. We are less than 2 weeks away from SummerSlam. Frank and I have a lot to cover. Frank, start us off, buddy.
Well, for this episode, we're going to do the mid-year awards so far in the world of wrestling. We'll talk about SummerSlam preview, and we'll talk about Dean Ambrose declaring war on WWE. Now that he's the champ.
All right.
Friend or foe, be warned.
Okay, so Frank, are we starting with the awards?
Yeah, sure. I guess we'll start with the female of the year. I guess me and James haven't discussed this. We just put a poll out. So I guess you give yours and I'll give mine, and then maybe we'll use the polls
as far as I'm concerned. The female wrestler of the year?
So far, mid-year, and it's it's popularity, match quality, success, impact. I guess we could use it as a criteria.
Oh, that's got to be Sasha Banks.
You say Sasha Banks?
Can it be anyone else?
I would say. What about Charlotte? I mean, she's
I feel
good.
that her title reign has been very lackluster. To be very honest, I'm just being honest. And you're hearing this from a fan of Charlotte's. I thought she was great even when she was in NXT.
But didn't Charlotte miss Sasha miss a big amount of time this year? Wasn't she out for a few months?
I suppose that she did, but I can tell you, she, from a match quality standpoint, is better than Charlotte by a mile. That's just me. I mean, an argument, I guess.
She's definitely. I'll say this: she's definitely the most popular women's wrestler right now.
Wait till Bayley comes to the main roster; that'll change real fast.
Yeah, everybody's got a flavor of the month. I mean, on the poll, Sasha beat Charlotte 6-4. So I guess we're gonna have to give Sasha so far Sasha Banks. She's the mid wrestler of the year, women's wrestler of the year so far.
Okay, so next tag team of the year, I guess that's got to go in terms of success. I know that this pisses you off, but it's got to go to the New Day.
It's not because I don't like the New Day. I mean, they really haven't had. I mean, they haven't had that many title defenses. I don't know. Their wrestling matches are not really all of it. It's not really an indictment on them. It's an indictment on just the tag team wrestling. I mean, I think. I mean, I would have to say, my vote would be for the Young Bucks, but I guess we're gonna have to give the award to the New Day because.
Well, I hope that by the end of the year we could change. For the full year, we'll be able to change that to the American Alphas. I just got their T-shirt in the mail the other day.
I mean, yeah. I mean, on the poll, the New Day dominated the poll. I mean, you have to give it to them.
They've been the tag team champion since last year.
I know.
They had that really, really good match with the.
Well, we're talking about the award is for the mid-year from January to now.
Well, then it's the New Day.
Yeah, I know. We have to give it to them. I mean, I guess Young Bucks come in second because even though they wrestled in Japan. They have made an impact in the world of pro wrestling. So, I mean, they're doing cross promotional they have done cross promotional skits with the New Day. And just the other day, I don't know if you caught it. There was a broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. They did a promo. They cut a promo against the Young Bucks, accepting their challenge. So, but I guess New Day it is.
All right. Most improved wrestler of the year. That was, to me, was very, very hard because I really couldn't think of anyone that stood out.
Well, basically, who's made an impact, the most impact and the most leaps and bounds from, let's say, the beginning of the year to now?
Dean Ambrose.
Well, you think he wasn't good last year? You think
No, I'm talking about in terms of popularity.
No, I'm talking about improved. I'm talking about a guy. I think this award is more reserved for somebody who's been stuck in the mid card and all of a sudden is made a breakthrough.
I can't really think of anyone.
Well, my choices were Big Cass, Drew Galloway, Doc Galloway. 3 people voted for Ava Marie: Zack Ryder, Roman Reigns, Kalisto, Samoa Joe, and Bayley.
I don't think that Roman Reigns needed improvement in terms of his in-ring work.
Yeah.
We've discussed on the show many times. We think he's a really good worker for a man his size.
Kalisto could have gotten this award had he got his U.S. title run been given more of a serious push.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Make-A-Wish didn't have the title, so we couldn't push him.
But I'm saying he could have really.
No, of course,
he could
absolutely. I mean, Soul's got the talent. There's no doubt about that.
And what about Ava Marie? Ava Marie still hasn't wrestled. I mean, I know people put her as a joke. I know people.
I want to understand, why is it that because a woman is big in all the right places, that automatically means she's a great wrestler? It's not.
I didn't say she's a wrestler.
She gets go away. She gets the X-Pac heat.
Well,
go away heat.
Well, there's a difference between wrestler and performers. So she's definitely a good performer. She gets a reaction. So she and if she could put anything together, I mean, listen. Well, we've lived through Sable. I mean, Sable was the original Ava Marie. You know, she was a blonde with big boobs who couldn't wrestle. She was a prima donna. You know,
difference between the two: one was over, one isn't.
Well, who was it? Sable.
Sable was over. It was a time. Listen, I lived through that era.
I know. That
woman used to get some of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah, but why?
Because they wanted to see her. Simple. I'm not claiming she was talented.
It's a sign of the times now. So now Ava Marie is the redheaded version of Sable. You know. No. I don't know. Well, I think but anyway,
going honestly, back, if I had to think of someone that improved in terms of
what about Drew McIntyre, Doc Galloway?
I haven't watched TNA since Jeff Hardy walked out high. He's held the TNA title for majority of the mid-year. His promos have improved. He's become a main eventer, even though it's not in WWE. You know, and I'd say it's either between him or Big Cass. And I think right now it's a little too early for Big Cass. I think he may win this. He may win this award at the end. But I'm going to have to go, since it's so close. My vote's for Doc Galloway as the most improved wrestler so far. Well, I give my vote to Baron Corbin. I think he's gotten better since his call up.
Baron Corbin didn't even get a vote.
No, that's fine.
I guess I don't know.
No, that's fine. It's just my opinion.
Going by the poll, and I guess so. We won't be considered WWE fanboys. We'll give this award to Doc Galloway because
why not?
Okay. So this won't be the WWE mid-year awards. It's for promoting this as the wrestling mid-year awards.
Yeah. Most hated wrestler of the year. How could it not be? I want to understand something here. I want to understand, and I hope Durst is watching this.
Yes, he will. Come on.
How in the hell could you say Bray Wyatt is the most hated wrestler?
Well, hold on. Well, the poll is asking the question. Who do you hate the most? I mean, he's
no. You didn't ask who you hate the most, because you know the answer for most everyone would have been John Cena. You asked for the most hated wrestler of the year.
Oh yeah. Who do you think is the most hated wrestler?
The most hated wrestler who got the most heat this year was Roman Reigns, easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In terms of who got the most heat from the crowd, it was Reigns, easily.
Yeah,
even freaking Ray Charles, blind as a bat, could see that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I agree too. And going by the poll, Roman Reigns won in the landslide.
Please, to say anything otherwise is ridiculous, because you saw the heat he was getting.
Oh yeah, he gets booed. He got booed. Listen, it forced WWE to change course. Forget that suspension. I think that suspension is partially work. Maybe he did get caught. Maybe the reason why they were going to cover it up, but I think they said, you know what, maybe we could use this as an excuse to bump him down, so that way it'll protect him. People say, oh, he just got demoted because of that, but listen, suspension, no suspension, he was not working. He was failing big time.
As a babyface, he could be deemed nothing less than a failure.
Yeah.
Okay. Show of the Year award. I voted for.
And I want to explain this award. This award is any pay-per-view from any federation, any special event that came on the WWE Network, or any episode, Raw, SmackDown, or New Japan, or Lucha Underground, or TNA episode. And what was the?
For me, it has to be. For me, it's one of two shows. And
well, let's talk about the biggest ones, which were, I think, to narrow it down. WrestleMania is definitely not one of them. WrestleMania.
No,
I think
this year's WrestleMania was a complete joke.
I think that might be the worst pay-per-view.
I'll tell you, the show the day before it, TakeOver Dallas, was incredible.
I think that was one of the big ones.
I felt that Money in the Bank was a good show. I felt that Battleground was a really good show.
Battleground. How about the Raw episode from July 25th?
Yes.
That was the. I think that episode took away from Battleground and the Shield triple threat match, because everybody that Raw followed Battleground, and it took away from the Shield triple threat. You notice nobody even talked about the Shield triple threat match. It came
because that Shield. I've said all along, Frank, that Shield three-way belonged in the main event of WrestleMania. It absolutely belonged.
I'm just saying it followed that Raw episode followed the next night.
Because let's be honest, no matter how good Battleground was as a show,
it was the Raw episode, right?
It was the Raw after Battleground that was in that episode. That when I came home from work, my sister was telling me, no, I went to go see The Killing Joke. My sister told me, you have to watch Raw. You have to watch.
Oh, absolutely. That Raw, not only was that Raw hands down the best episode of Raw this year, I think I said it. That Raw could have been a pay-per-view.
Absolutely. It was pay-per-view quality television.
And not only a pay-per-view, a good pay-per-view. I think that would have been a very good pay-per-view.
We need to start seeing more of that.
But they're not going to do that. But
what ended up winning, Frank?
NXT Dallas won. What about Money in the Bank? I mean, what did you think? Money in the Bank was a pretty exciting pay-per-view.
I said Money in the Bank I thought was a good show.
It had the Money in the Bank match.
I liked Ambrose win the contract. I thought that Rollins and Reigns put on a really good match. And
we even, we even had Cena versus AJ. I mean, even though that match wasn't the greatest match, I mean, that was not
AJ Styles' best match of this year. The best match he had was the matches he had with Reigns. And that's where I'll always say, Reigns is a better athlete than Cena by far. By far, he's a better athlete.
So I'll leave this to you. What do you think was the event that was just so good?
The best event of the year, if I had to pick one, and it's very difficult for me, which is good. It should be difficult to pick what was the best show of the year.
Let's narrow it down.
Honestly, I think TakeOver Dallas is very hard to top. From the friggin' tag title match.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you.
But, I mean, and then you had the special attraction match with Nakamura and Sami Zayn, which I know you really didn't enjoy that much.
No, I did.
Because I know
I'll let you know how much I enjoyed it later on.
And then the Samoa Joe and Finn Balor just had, I think, one of the best rivalries this year. My goodness, I could watch every one of their matches over and over again.
And then it had Sami Zayn versus Nakamura, which is
Oh,
is on a match of the year candidate.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so I guess
I still felt, and for whatever reason, I got blocked for saying this. Battleground was a great show. I enjoyed Battleground immensely.
and Battleground ended with the triple threat match.
I mean, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Holy shit.
That match was.
I mean, Frank, tell our viewers how good was that match.
That match is good. I'll talk about it. We'll talk about that because that's a match.
Of course, we'll get into that. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with TakeOver Dallas.
From start to finish, yeah, that event was just it was short, sweet, compact, and it opened WrestleMania weekend and it overshadowed WrestleMania. That's pretty much to do.
If you're looking for a show that from the first match all the way to the main event that delivered and made you just say, "Oh my God, I can't wait to watch the DVD," or "I can't wait to watch again," that is the show. Very close behind it. Money in the Bank and Battleground, I have to say.
Okay, so we'll say all right. So the winner goes to NXT TakeOver Dallas, and
yes.
We'll say runner-up Money in the Bank.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The next award is Wrestler of the Year.
Is it Wrestler of the Year?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
As much as I'd like for it to be one of my favorite guys, even though I'm not saying I dislike this guy because I like him a lot.
Who are the choices? Who are the choices?
I don't have the poll in front of me, but I'll go to the page right now. Hang on.
I do got it, but I keep messing up.
No, you're not messing up, Frank.
No, I keep scrolling and I never get to see it. But the Wrestler of the Year, I put Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, who else was there?
I'm looking for the polls because Henry, if you're listening,
I know Henry has to
up the feed.
He has to spew every thought. He has to what is it? Stream his consciousness onto the page.
I think that we should appoint Henry the commissioner of OWN.
The moderator. Okay, no, I'm sorry. It's okay, Henry. You keep doing what you got to do.
Doing what you're doing, Henry. You'll get a push someday.
Well, this poll. And I'm using these polls as a sample size of the general population. Everybody was pretty much divided on this, but the top.
I'm looking right now at the poll. Kevin Owens, Rusev. I don't know why Rusev's on this list.
Well, AJ Styles. I put Jay Lethal because he is
the Miz gets one vote, and of course.
Well, Jay Lethal is the longest reigning champion in professional wrestling today. For Ring of Honor, he's the Ring of Honor champion.
Yes, he is.
I put Dean Ambrose.
I'm very surprised Roman Reigns got only one vote. The guy's been in some good matches.
But I think this is this Wrestler of the Year. I think is the whole package. I think it's performance, your performance, promo, your match quality, your success. I think all combined into one. I would have to say.
I have to be honest.
What do you say? Let's see.
AJ Styles, easily.
And his match quality, his impact, but it hasn't translated to too much success so far.
No, it hasn't, and that's my biggest complaint about AJ Styles. The guy hasn't won a pay-per-view match since February, and I think he's long overdue.
Now, listen, I think now, just because of this last month, I think Dean Ambrose is going to have to win this award. So far in the mid-year, he derailed the Roman Reigns push.
What derailed the Roman Reigns push was the drug violation.
No, I know, but I'm saying
that's what derailed it. Let's be honest, and let's also be honest about Dean Ambrose.
Well, listen, Dean Ambrose has been the most popular wrestler all year.
He has.
Listen, after WrestleMania, where he got buried for a couple of months. I mean, now he's the champion. He's the WWE champion. He's had great matches now. He had great matches before and after WrestleMania.
The biggest mistake they made was putting him in that program with Brock with the intention of making him lose.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a little while. But I mean, He won the Money in the Bank contract, which was a great match.
He pinned Seth Rollins clean on SmackDown, and he pinned Roman Reigns clean in the three-way.
Yeah, so I think, listen, so far, I think we're going to have to give this award to Dean Ambrose so far.
As much as I want to give it to Dean Ambrose because he's my favorite on that list next to Kevin, and Kevin Owens is right next to him because I think Kevin Owens is
I think Kevin Owens is a runner-up. What do you think?
But I still stand by what I said. If you want to talk about someone that's been putting on good pay-per-view matches, guy that's been knocking it out of the park in the ring in terms of being a wrestler.
No, but I'm saying, Mike, the category is supposed to be for everything. It's in-ring work, mic work, and success. I can't give it to AJ. He's only won once on pay-per-view. I can't. Everything else he's done good. His promos have been out of sight. He started the beat up John Cena. What do you think?
I understand where you're coming from, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What about Dean Ambrose? The triple threat match they had with Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar at Fastlane before.
It's just what's preventing me from giving it to Dean Ambrose is I'm remembering the loss in the three-way, the loss to Triple H, the loss to Brock Lesnar. Those losses piled up on him, and they can't be ignored.
But he won now he's the champion.
Now he's the champion.
So, but still counts, right?
I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm saying that
so you
should
say
have lost if this was the plan, which we both know it wasn't. He shouldn't have been losing to Brock Lesnar. I don't care for the UFC fanatics out there. This is scripted. You could have anyone win any match you want. That's
we know that was part of Dean Ambrose's burial. You blame Roman Reigns on that. Blame the creative in Roman Reigns.
But Frank, Dean Ambrose wasn't buried. He's the champion.
Well, no, he got buried. He got buried for 2-3 months, and then they put him back in. They inserted him back in. Dean Ambrose was, and he even we'll talk about it later. He even talked about that on the podcast.
We'll talk about that after we go. So you want to give it to Dean Ambrose? We'll have to disagree on this one.
Well, all right. Well, we'll give it to AJ Styles because I would say
no. If you want to give it to Dean Ambrose,
I was going to say AJ Styles as a runner-up. So whatever.
Okay, that's fine. I could deal with that. All right. So I don't have any other awards.
And plus, AJ Styles edged out.
What's the next award, Frank? We have Wrestle of the Year, so I guess it's Match of the Year.
I put most popular wrestler of the year.
Oh, that's Dean Ambrose, easily.
What about Shinsuke Nakamura?
Ooh. When that guy comes up to the main roster, they're not going to be able to bury this fucking guy. I can tell you that right now.
The poll, it was AJ Styles first by a hair, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dean Ambrose, and then everybody just put their odd choices.
Yeah, I see that.
Heath Slater with the award. And what about Kevin Owens? Isn't Kevin Owens? This guy gets when KO's music hits, it gets a pop.
Gets a pop. No, they're always going to pop for KO because
KO's been great on the mic on commentary.
Well, if we're gonna do listen, if we're ever gonna do Talker of the Year.
But most popular.
Most popular.
Everybody gets excited for. He gets consistently the biggest.
Nakamura.
Over Dean Ambrose, you think?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
You gotta watch the shows. You gotta watch both.
No, I do, James. I do watch. Maybe I don't watch the shows live, but over the course of time, I watch the clips. I see what's going on.
Nakamura has been consistently over since his debut. It's insane.
Yeah.
When the main roster is, I'm going to say it this way: when the main roster is fortunate enough to get him, my goodness.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. And then, all right. We'll say Nakamura so far is the most popular wrestler of the mid-year, with Dean Ambrose and
right behind him.
AJ Styles, of course, I would give it to him, but they turned him heel. He's still getting cheers as a heel.
Of course, he's getting cheered. He's fighting Cena.
And Kevin Owens could easily, if he turns babyface tomorrow, he'll be popular.
I don't picture Kevin Owens as a white meat babyface. If that
no, anti-hero.
If they ever make him fight the heels, he's got to go anti-hero. That's the thing I've been talking for. Let me tell you something, and I'm not just saying it because I like him and because my sister likes him.
Everybody likes him.
If Bray Wyatt ever becomes an anti-hero, the money they will make off that guy it's insane. Because he is his gimmick.
I say he's got money written all over him.
Been saying it for years.
So
okay, so what's the next award?
I think that's wrapped it up, right? We did the match of the year.
No, we didn't do match of the year.
We didn't?
We didn't discuss
it.
Yeah,
we said we
would go back to it.
Right. So the match of the year, I think, is got to be, as a candidate, it's got to be the Money in the Bank contract match. I think that was pretty exciting.
Yes, it was.
Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. That was that had me on the edge of my seat, and of course the ending with Ambrose cashing in.
You could cut the tension with a knife.
We had the first AJ Styles Roman Reigns match, minus the ending, would have been the match here. That was just.
It was wild.
They let AJ Styles loose in that match. The bumps in that match. He took the bump on the table. He did the 450 splash on the table. That had unbelievable athleticism, and of course what about Sami Zayn and Nakamura and NXT Dallas?
Oh,
and the other one that got a lot of attention was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Battleground.
Well, because you want to know why that match is going to get that type of attention. The reason that match is going to get that type of attention, Frank, is because that match had a story going into it. Though these guys have been at each other's throats since January.
They've been at each other's throats for the last 2 years.
I'm talking about in this arc, this story arc that they're in. And it ended on a B-level pay-per-view, which I think in a way is good because it shows you anything can happen at any show. It doesn't just have to be on the big shows, even though I did feel, and still to a degree feel, that their last match should have been at a SummerSlam. Should have been in maybe, I know you mentioned, should have maybe ended in Hell in a Cell. But I think
I disqualified that match because Sami Zayn botched big time, and there was a big botch. And so if we have to be picky, match of the year has to be so perfect.
And yet, it's a match that involves Sami Zayn with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I have to, just based on the excitement of the excitement and the moment of it. Nakamura's debut. It was the match of WrestleMania weekend, and I have to give it. And it was a great match. It was a back and forth match. So far, I give it my vote. I give that.
Well, it's got my vote as well.
So there you have it. So those are the mid-year awards.
All right, the awards are under the belt.
So now
they are.
We could talk about SummerSlam coming up.
Yes.
We've had after that spectacular July 25th Raw, it's been up and down as I said it would, and you can't. They're never going to match that Raw. That Raw was that Raw. You get one of those Raws once a year. I always say this: you get about 2-3 great Raws every year. You get maybe about 8 or 10 really good ones, decent. You get about 10 really throwaway shows, and then everything else is in the middle. They give you 52 shows a year. Well, they can't listen. And I don't want to ruin it for everybody. Raw is a 3-hour commercial with segments scattered in between. Okay, they can't give you. There's 4 Raws every month in between the pay-per-view. They can't give you that much. Then it'll take away from the pay-per-view. These are just little segments. pasted and inserted into 3 hours worth of commercials.
Well, honestly, I've been enjoying Raw for the most
Yeah. But everybody's got to manage your expectations. Listen, there was a period where Raw in the late 90s and early 2000s, the Raws were really, really good and consistently good. And then you know what happened? The pay-per-views didn't seem that great. Everybody was saying the pay-per-views just seemed like another episode of Raw. That's what happens. So that's then if you give great Raws like to July 25th every week, then when the pay-per-view comes, the pay-per-view is gonna be lackluster. It's gonna lose a lot of its gloss.
I think personally that what July 25th proved, that when the WWE wants to get it right, they can.
Yes, they can, but they can't. There's always so much greatness, because if everything is great, then it starts to lose. It's, if you eat filet mignon every day, it's not going to be a treat. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that, but good quality television. Listen, I'm not saying every week should be the Wild West. What I am saying is that they should consistently have good shows. That's all.
Yeah, but there's always so much they could give us. You have to do a slow. The reason why they have to do a slow burn is because then not everything will be in chaos. Instead, if you keep having these big dramatic things happening every week in a month.
Well, let's get into SummerSlam. We have Apollo Crews challenging The Miz for the Intercontinental title. I'm going for Apollo Crews.
What happened with this? When did they announce this match?
It was last week on SmackDown. There was a 3-way between Baron Corbin, Kalisto, and Apollo Crews for the #1 contendership.
And Baron Corbin, I would think Baron Corbin would get a shot at this.
No, Apollo Crews got the shot, and I'm hoping they put the belt on him. I'm about sick and tired of seeing The Miz with the title.
I don't know. He's too right now. That act with him and Maurice is too popular. It's too good. It's too heelish. I think he plays over. Do you think Apollo Crews is ready to be the IC champ? Isn't there anybody else?
As long as they give him the booking, he'll be fine.
You don't think there's anybody else that could be the IC champ?
Absolutely. There's a guy that I feel should have been put in that picture, but they didn't.
Who?
Bray Wyatt.
Well, did he get hurt?
I don't think he's that hurt. He just sprained his ankle.
Oh, okay. Listen, I said in the last video, I think they could have a great feud. I think Bray Wyatt.
I felt that Bray Wyatt versus The Miz would have been the best way to go, and I'll tell you why. Number one, Bray Wyatt beating The Miz for the IC title would have pissed off Nick Durst, and that immediately would have made me happy.
Tell them why.
I'll tell them why, because number one, Bray Wyatt is better than The Miz in every way, shape, or form. There is no way in hell that The Miz is better than Bray Wyatt at anything. He's not better than him in promos. He's not better than him in in-ring work. He's not better than him in terms of a character. But one thing I will give The Miz is he loves the business. I will give him that. But guess what? So does Bray Wyatt. And I feel that them not putting Bray Wyatt in that situation was a mistake. It was a major mistake. Because Bray Wyatt has been booked for way too long as the villain. His character doesn't fit a villain. It fits an anti-hero. He's anti-establishment. And the WWE audience has been dying for an anti-establishment character to get behind since CM Punk walked.
Right. But listen, we always said so far, and we talk about reality, so far Bray Wyatt's been booked as a glorified jobber. I've said
that many times, and I've been told
he hardly wrestles. And we talked about this in the last one. What has he done? He's never gotten any gold around his waist.
Nothing.
The Wyatt family's a joke. Do you realize Bo Dallas has more gold than Bray Wyatt? What is that? Bo Dallas has won as many matches as Bray Wyatt this year.
And that's embarrassing.
Because you know why, Bray? All you have to do is believe.
It's bullshit that Bray Wyatt's been booked like a joke. And guess what? Just like Cesaro, just like Ziggler for the last 2-3 years, it's not their fault. It's fucking creative.
Well, yes, okay, but reality says The Miz is head and shoulders above Bray Wyatt right now in their careers.
Which we both know that's not true.
But reality says The Miz has been heavyweight champion. He's main evented WrestleMania.
And he had no business doing it.
He is in movie after movie.
Yeah, movie after movie that nobody fucking buys.
How many movies?
DVD movies.
How many movies has Bray Wyatt done? He should.
Guess what? And this is something I want to open up here. As a viewer of pro wrestling, why should I care who stars in a movie? Why should I care as a
We're
wrestler?
talking about stuff. We're talking about stuff.
Frank, let me go off because this is something I feel needs to be addressed. As a wrestling fan, why should I care who goes on Conan O'Brien? Why should I, as a wrestling fan, give a fuck who goes on whatever bullshit, crappy show they have on television, aside from wrestling? Why should I care? I don't. I don't care if John Cena goes on one show. I don't care if Roman Reigns goes on this show. I don't care. It does nothing for me as a consumer. So I don't care who's done movies and who's done this. All I care about is what goes on my TV screen every Monday and Tuesday night.
It's not a wrestling show. It's not a wrestling show. We make movies.
At the end of the day, it will always be a pro wrestling show. Now let's move on. Who are you going for, Apollo Crews or The Miz?
I don't know. I've seen Apollo Crews so far. I mean, he's got potential. I think he's still too green. It would do an even bigger disservice on all these guys that we've mentioned if Apollo Crews got the strap. I think The Miz is an entertaining heel with Maurice, and I think. Well,
he's got to drop the belt at some point.
I think, yeah, maybe down the line he could do that. But
sometime next year?
No. Well, maybe. Listen. It's he's entertaining as a heel right now, and he probably is one of the biggest heels in all of wrestling right now. But yeah, Apollo Crews is too green right now. He hasn't really. Does he really get a big reaction every week?
No.
So come on, he's too green. But this is a good stepping stone for Apollo Crews. He'll be on SummerSlam. He'll be challenging, and if he could impress, then maybe down the road, yeah.
Okay, next we got Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States title.
So basically now they're pulling a John Cena now. So because Roman Reigns can't be close to the WWE title. So now they're going to give him the Rusev. So all this time we were right. They were building up Rusev to feed to somebody. I thought it was going to be Cena, but no, now it's going to be Reigns.
And honestly, it's not going to change anything. Reigns is still going to get booed. They haven't gotten it through their thick skulls. The only way to fix this is to turn him heel.
And what was this crap that Henry was gushing the other night on the page that he brought out his Liaki persona on.
I don't know what Henry.
What? No. He Monday on Raw, Roman Reigns, Lana, and Rusev, they had the wedding cake and they were going to renew their vows in the ring. And Roman Reigns came out and he started insulting Rusev. He started doing a poor imitation of The Rock. What is that? He's not funny. He doesn't come off.
I keep saying, and you're talking to a big Roman Reigns fan, the best way to take care of this guy is to make him a villain who can back up the smack that comes out of his mouth.
When he gets booked as the top babyface champion, he doesn't come off good. When they try to still keep him as a babyface, but with a little edge, it comes off as a poor Rock imitation. He's got to go heel. He's got to go heel.
Oh, absolutely. And when he gets booed out of SummerSlam, that's going to be bad.
Yeah. Well, the boos are going to.
And you want to know something? They have no one to blame but themselves.
Yep. They'll learn. They'll learn.
I don't think they will. They haven't learned for 10 years with fuckboy Buckethead.
Listen. In their defense, they've invested so much money in him. They can't.
They can still. But that to me is a poor excuse.
I know.
Why is it that they can invest all that money in him, but he's immediately has no value if he turns heel? How does he have no value?
It's because it's part of the marketing, James. It's part of the marketing.
Yeah, but there are other guys on that roster, last I checked, that you can market.
I know, but they like I said, they've put so much money and time. Remember, I said this is year three of the Roman Reigns push. Anyway, what do you think?
Another match we got going on at SummerSlam is Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton, and I could give two fucks less for this match.
The cross promotional match is the cross promotional match, which has already ruined the brand split. Well, not ruined it, but tainted it. They did the
just Brock Lesnar's name being on that card to me taints it.
Well, I know.
Because you know why? Fuck Brock Lesnar.
Well, all right. But I'm saying, let's just analyze the match. They had Randy Orton invade Raw.
Not even. Now, if they would have did this 6 months down the road, it would probably have some meaning. But it just happened.
Yeah. They gave him Randy Orton out of nowhere. Not Randy Orton. RKO out of nowhere. And
Brock F5'd him on SmackDown.
Yeah, are you getting an echo?
Yes, I heard it a little bit earlier on.
Okay.
But like I said, I have no interest in this match. I don't care. Because I just don't care. These guys have no reason to fight other than the fact that Randy was selected to fight Brock Lesnar.
And
what's the story here? There is no story.
They haven't. We haven't seen this match. It's a fresh match.
Okay, it's a fresh match. And
I don't know. It's a filler.
I can tell you this better not close the show.
No way.
Or I'm gonna be pissed.
No way.
There are only two things I want to see at SummerSlam. Number one is this. I don't want to see this close the show.
No, I think this will be somewhere in the middle.
All right. Next match, which is my other request for SummerSlam, and then I got nothing else. AJ Styles versus Fuckboy Buckethead.
Well, I think the good news is going to be that Cena is reportedly taking time off. Again.
Hallelujah.
But AJ's got to go over.
No. Let's rephrase this. I'm going to rephrase this properly. AJ Styles has to go over in this match with no excuses for Fuckboy Buckethead to make to his children. Jesus fucking Christ.
And I hope
this guy wants to feud without any excuses. He has never done that. Do you not understand why I didn't even want him to have this feud with Cena? Because it always ends the same way. How did it end for the Nexus? How did it end for the Wyatts? How did it end for Ryback? How did it end for Rusev? How did it end for Kevin fucking Owens?
Well, we
don't see a trend.
Let's not beat a dead horse, but I hope that
someone in that fucking office has got to have some sense.
I hope that in the first match they didn't. That was a bad match because they were stuff for SummerSlam.
Well, I can tell you right now, that first match they had sucked.
Yeah, because they didn't really pull out enough stops. There was no.
It's not even that. AJ Styles was wrestling circles around them. Cena sucked in that match.
Well, that was supposed to be the story that Cena was acting.
Wait, you're trying to tell me John Cena knows how to tell a story in a match? Then what the fuck has he been doing the last 10 years?
He was acting poorly, but in the beginning, he tried to lock up with him, and he'd be like, he was like overselling that.
All I can tell you is this: AJ Styles better go over clean, or that'll be 3 programs in a row that fucker loses, and he has 0 credibility.
Right, and they don't have the club can't interfere. So
AJ Styles has got to go over 100% clean. No cheating, no nonsense, no shenanigans, no bullshit. Is that too much to ask?
And this should shut up a major feud post SummerSlam for AJ versus.
If he beats John Cena 100% clean, sky's the limit for AJ Styles.
Yeah, because this will tie into the next match.
Can't be like last year where freaking Seth Rollins needed Jon Stewart to help him.
Yeah, I know. But this will
And then everybody wonders why last year the ratings were shitty and Seth Rollins' reign as the champion was lousy. Frank, I'll quote you again. How many times did Cena beat Seth Rollins while he was the champion?
He beat him 5 times straight. 5 times. He was beating him every week.
And then you wonder why guys like me hate him.
It's not that. Look, you have Seth Rollins with the WWE title and the US title, and he's getting jumped out every week to John Cena. What does that tell you? What does that give the impression?
I ask one question, and then I want to close this match. If John Cena wins, who does it benefit?
John Cena.
Nobody. Nobody.
But anyway, let's move on to the next match.
The next match is Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler.
Which this will tie to AJ. This is tied because if once AJ Styles wins, I think there's no way Dolph will win this match. And
part of me wants him to.
Yeah.
A small part of me wants him to, but I'm really enjoying Dean Ambrose as the WWE champion. I think the timing is bad.
I think they're trying to squeeze Bray Wyatt to make it a triple threat. But maybe after SummerSlam we'll see a Dolph Ziggler Bray Wyatt feud. And then I think Dean and AJ should feud for the rest of the year. And I think
it would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be great.
And I'll tell you this. I will say this now. If Apollo Crews does not defeat The Miz at SummerSlam, Survivor Series, the directive should be Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, Intercontinental title, put the friggin' belt on Wyatt.
Just give him the gold.
Exactly. I mean, really. You know, the guy, of course, no one's going to take Wyatt seriously because he's never been able to establish any momentum since February of 2014.
Zack Ryder has a title reign over Bray Wyatt.
Think about this. Zack Ryder has more titles in his resume than Bray Wyatt. No offense to anyone who likes Zack Ryder. That is a fucking joke. Because Zack Ryder, from an overall standpoint, compared to Bray Wyatt, is a pimple on the ass of life. No disrespect to anyone who likes Zack Ryder. I encourage you to like Zack Ryder. He is a nothing compared to Bray Wyatt.
Okay, and then we have the
now the last match. The match to me should close.
We have a few more. The women's championship match.
Yes, we do have a women's championship. We have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. No way is Charlotte winning. Sasha's going to go over.
And Dana Brooks is barred from ringside, right?
Yes, she is barred from ringside, as she should be. Let these, Sasha Banks and Charlotte had great matches down in NXT when it was just one-on-one.
I think Sasha should hold the title all the way to WrestleMania.
Where she loses it to Bayley. Just like she did in Brooklyn last year. They had the match of the year last year.
Okay, but you can give Sasha the win at WrestleMania, and then she could drop.
Not at all.
But Sasha
have her hold. Then who beats her for the belt?
No, I'm saying Bayley could beat her.
Not at all. Bayley's gonna. Let me tell you something. I know that you're not sold on her. Bayley is gonna be super over when she comes.
I only say that because Sasha didn't get her competition.
That's the price we pay for stupid booking.
And then next we have Enzo and Cass versus Jericho. I like that tag. What do you think about that too?
I think they're funny. I like them, and I say that KO and Jericho are going to go over in that one. I just have a sneaking suspicion, and KO is going to get the fucking pin on Enzo.
Now there's rumors. There's going to be a trade between Raw and SmackDown.
I heard, and I like it.
And the trade is Randy Orton. We'll go to Raw.
Kevin Owens and Cesaro.
So that means
put Cesaro on SmackDown. That's where he belongs.
So if they go with that trade, I think Enzo and Cass will emerge. And now, if you noticed, Again, Monday when I talk about the clues. Did you hear the promo KO cut on Enzo?
Yep.
I got rid of my thing. Unfortunately, you still have yours.
To me, the disrespect that the WWE is showing Enzo Amore is ridiculous because I got news for you. And you're hearing this from a big fan of Enzo and Cass. Cass was nowhere in NXT while Enzo was out injured. He was nowhere.
Well, that's why we discussed earlier in the awards that Cass has improved.
How has he improved? He's the same guy he was last year.
His stock.
He's the exact same guy. His stock has gone up because certain people in the back like him, but that's got nothing to do with his ability.
But that's how you start. That's how you start.
It's got zero to do with his ability. And if they try to do the same thing with him that they did with Reigns, it will end up the same way. Let me explain something, and I'm not trying to sound like an arrogant prick. The WWE organization, you're not supposed to pick who the top guy is. That's the audience's job. You don't believe me? Look back at Hulk Hogan. Look back at Bret Hart. Look back at Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. You guys didn't fucking pick them. The fans did.
What, you don't think Big Cass is over right now?
I think Enzo and Cass as a team is over.
Well,
as a team, they are massively over.
They see the long run and they see the Big Cass. Like I said, 7 feet tall.
All I'm going to say is this. If your only reason to push somebody is because they're big and handsome, you're an idiot.
No, but come on. Big Cass can speak on the mic.
Enzo blows him out of the water. Dude, come on.
I know, but Enzo's wrestling ability is left to be desired.
They're equals in terms of wrestling ability. They both aren't that good.
Okay, all right, we'll move on.
No, you're going a little heelish on me here, Frank, and I don't get it.
It's not me. It's not what I think.
And they're idiots. Look at Roman Reigns. They ruined him. They managed to ruin one of the most naturally gifted athletes that they have.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Let me tell you something. Roman Reigns, on his own, is better than Enzo and Cass combined.
I know, but listen.
They're an in-ring worker.
Listen, you always see that's the MO and that's the history of WWE. Whenever there's a popular tag team, they take one guy, they split the team up, and one guy goes up.
And I make the statement, there is no reason in this particular situation, because there is no weak link in this team, they both carry the load. Both guys could become something. The WWE as a business, should not be looking to stomp out one of their own creations. Because if they are, then they're fools.
But unfortunately, I think Enzo is SAWFT.
Actually, Enzo's the one that is cutting the best promos on Raw.
I keep saying that. You just wait until they get the writers on. They're going to ruin those promos. They're going to start making them corny. Like already you see Monday, like a kitten to catnip. They're gonna stop going PG, Genie Bopper promos, and they're gonna ruin. And the match.
Tag team titles: the Club versus the New Day, and I say the Club's going over.
Look at this. That's not even. I'm on the WWE.com website. That's not even on the card. Oh no, they did that. I think that could open up the show. On the pre-show.
No, the tag titles can't be on the pre-show.
I don't know. Listen, they never opened. They never had a title match on the pre-show. This is going to be a 4-hour show.
The New Day has been too prominently featured to be on the pre-show. That would be exceptionally retarded, even for them.
So who's on the pre-show?
I don't mind if I don't know who's on the pre-show, and I don't give a shit. I only know that the titles don't belong on the pre-show.
Okay, do you think this is the official end of the New Day?
Yes. So a lot of people that don't like them will finally get their wish, even though I don't know why. New Day got themselves over.
Again, if you see
they took a gimmick that was shit, and they made it into chicken salad.
If you see the MO and the history of WWE and wrestling, eventually they're gonna have to maybe they reform the New Day. I don't know.
Well,
it seems like
I think they're great. I think they're great.
I think they're very entertaining. But we'll see what happens.
There have been a lot of weeks where they were the best part on that show, and that's saying a lot.
I think Gallows and Anderson will win the title, and I think they're going to tie into the last match, which is James.
Well, it should be the main event: Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, and I'm still trying to figure this shit out.
Well, have they debuted the WWE Universal Championship?
Not yet.
Are they gonna unveil it this week?
I don't know. I haven't the slightest clue.
Listen, when's SummerSlam? 2 weeks from now?
A week from this Sunday.
So this week is the go-ahead show. Home show.
Yes, this Monday's the go-home show.
I would assume they're going to debut.
They'll either debut it on Monday or they'll debut it at SummerSlam. And as far as I'm concerned, the only outcome for me is that Finn Balor goes over with the coup de grace, clean, 1, 2, 3, and he wins the title.
Yes, I've read that.
To me, he did well on NXT. You know, the crowd's not booing him, and I guarantee you, when that guy comes out in that body paint, crowd's going to be all over him.
Yes, I've read that the plan was Seth Rollins to win, but Vince is enamored now with Finn Balor. He sees big things in him.
If you're a wrestling fan, you should see a lot of big things in Finn Balor. The guy covers all the... I'll put it to you this way, Frank. I know that you don't look at him as anything special.
I do.
He covers all the boundaries, women, children, and men. What can you ask for? The guy's the total package. The only thing he needs help with is his promos.
Yeah, that's the only gripe I have is his actions.
But I was thinking about something that you said a number of weeks ago on the show. We are so conditioned to thinking that everyone's got to come out and cut 20-minute promos every Monday. Why is it now that every single week someone has to come out and cut a 20-minute promo? Why is that so? It's retarded.
Or if you're gonna do a recorded promo. I don't understand. We don't need 20-minute promos in the ring
to open the show. We don't need it.
Boring.
It is boring, and it exposes the guys.
Like I said, there's maybe 3 or 4 people ever who could do that every week.
Rock, Dustin Rhodes, Jake the Snake,
Stone Cold. And let me tell you, and that gets hard. That gets difficult every week to do.
And eventually it gets hard for them to try to figure shit out because they don't want to repeat shit that they said 4 or 5 weeks ago. Retarded.
Those promos.
They expect everyone that gets that spot to be able to do the job of guys like Dusty, Rock, Flair, and Austin, and it's retarded.
And those promos are only good when they come once a year. Well, every 2 years.
And they're only good when they come from here.
Yes.
You're never going to get a great promo.
When they feel organic. But anyway.
Exactly.
Getting back to this match, I've said Seth Rollins winning this title does not make sense.
It feels too much like the same shit.
Yeah, that's all over. He's going to be the authority figure or whatever.
Stephanie McFoley.
Yeah, I think you want to call this the new era and give us Finn.
Exactly. And that's where we end our SummerSlam predictions. What's next, Frank?
We titled this Dean Ambrose versus WWE.
All right, so Frank, you're gonna have to fill the audience in on this because I ain't got a fucking clue. I never saw it. So go ahead. You talk.
Number one. Now that Dean Ambrose has gained the WWE title, we saw he was buried. After WrestleMania, he was buried. And if you can't see that, if you didn't see that, then you're just blind.
But Frank, we're just cynical haters.
No, we're not cynical haters. This guy And he said this on the Stone Cold podcast. And if you listen to it Monday, Stone Cold tried to get answers to it. And he said he didn't feel sabotage, but left his own devices. What does that mean? He got left to obscurity. And like I said at the beginning, only because they decided to change course did they reheat Dean Ambrose.
To me, it's ridiculous. When a guy gets hot, you don't try to sabotage him.
Right.
I understand what
like I said, the booking is you go two ways. You keep everybody down, and you keep your top guy all the way up, or you raise everybody, and your top guy looks even better. And WWE has gone with the first
Plan A.
Plan A. So
which has not helped anybody.
And we talked about
even their top guys.
And, David Sandow, he said it too on the Stone Cold podcast.
They put you in a box.
You can't go up. You can only go down. So
and it's retarded.
Anyway,
why would you want to limit your guys straight from the get-go? And it goes back to what Vince said on the Stone Cold podcast. Oh, none of the guys have any ambition. Then nobody wants to take any risks.
Listen, and then, maybe he's talking about it in a different way. Maybe people don't go up to him and give him ideas or come up.
And then in the same breath, Stone Cold says, "Well, a lot of people here walk on eggshells. They're afraid to approach it because they don't want to piss anybody off." And then Vince says, "Well, then don't piss anybody off."
Well,
and then he wants to blame those people.
No, but in a way he's right.
But remember, this is the CEO of the fucking company saying shit like this.
Dean Ambrose said on the podcast, him and Vince are tight. He even jokingly or not jokingly said that he's Vince McMahon's favorite wrestler.
His name's not John Cena.
I don't know. He was saying that the other night they had a 45-minute conversation in the middle of the night. He says, "I don't care what anybody says on the camera," and said, "I'm Vince's favorite wrestler." Whether he's half joking it out. And also, Dean disclosed about the promos. Yes, they are scripted. But now Vince has enough confidence that Vince tells him now, just go out there and say whatever you want. That's what he said.
I gotta watch this podcast.
Go watch. Yeah, they talked about Seth Rollins, Ambrose, Tripoli, and FCW and NXT. That's promos really scripted in WWE. Till he got there. He said he could cut promos off his head like this. But
no, Dean Ambrose is easily a great talker.
But he said you give him a script, he can't remember the first few lines. And that's for a lot of people.
Of course. Could you imagine? I can only imagine how many guys they got on that roster that are probably good promos, but because they gotta read shit off of a piece of paper.
It's hard to remember words.
And not only that, how do you think you're coming off to your audience when you're trying to talk with the feeling of a Stepford wife and I'm trying to memorize everything on a piece of paper while I look at you with this blank stare that I don't believe a single word.
It takes talent. I mean, listen, actors and actresses, they read from a script.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. Some of the best things are improvised. Like, I'm going to give you an example, Frank. Have you ever seen the Harry Potter movies?
No.
Okay, well, there's a scene where Jacob Isaacs, the guy that played the villain in The Patriot that killed Mel Gibson's sons, he does a line where he looks over to Harry Potter and says, "Well, let's always hope that Mr. Potter is always around to save the day." And Harry Potter responds with, "Don't worry, I will be." That was one of the best moments in the entire movie, and that was not part of the script.
No, listen, I agree with you about that.
The Austin 316 promo, that wasn't from no fucking script.
Listen, I agree with you. But listen,
the CM Punk pipe bomb that had everyone talking, that wasn't from a piece of paper. That was from here.
Yeah.
Paul Bear said in one of his last interviews, he said, "When I was with Taker, none of our stuff was ever scripted. And Taker and Paul Bear used to cut some great promos, both when they were together and when they were fighting each other.
James, I agree with you. Improvised promos and ad-lib could be great.
Bullet points. My friend Christian, who's a great director, has said many times, bullet points. That's all you need.
Okay,
Shout out to you, Chris.
Those
check out Caputo Productions. Good
those
stuff.
promos you just mentioned, those are the good ones that we remember. That was actually good. There was a lot of bad promos where people went off the script and start rambling. It takes talent, and it doesn't work all the time. Even in the movies. Sometimes it works. We only remember the good ones and the good. You don't remember.
No, I understand what you're saying.
You want to go back?
I'm just saying that I think that the promos would come off a little bit better. Actually, no, I think they'd come off a lot better if the guys, instead of being told to memorize 2-3 pages of shit, you give them bullet points. Like Dusty said many times how he used to run things. Nassau Coliseum, Jim Cornette with the Midnight Express against the Road Warriors. Go out there, sell me some tickets. And if the building was full, Cornette and the Midnight Express were on the next show. And if they weren't, they were off.
But some people need scripts. Some people don't want points.
Yes, I agree with you. But those people you give the scripts to. You don't give a script to someone like a Dean Ambrose or a Kevin Owens or a Bray Wyatt. Right. You guys let them talk on their own.
That's what I'm saying. It takes talent.
Certain guys need, I'm not going to lie, like you just said, certain guys do need that extra help.
Let's not forget, when in the late 90s, WCW and WWE, in some cases, when they started giving shoot promos, a lot of that stuff is absolute garbage. Some of it could become cringeworthy.
No, absolutely.
My solution for promos, I told you. Not in the ring. Do a couple of minutes, either at ringside, backstage. Everything else should be recorded.
All right.
And it makes sense. But
now, Frank, tell us more about what Dean Ambrose had to say.
Well, no, Dean Ambrose's overall attitude has been, since he won the title, and this has been in his promos, and it came out on the Stone Cold podcast. He's going with the attitude of friend or foe. Nobody, you're gonna have to kill him to take the belt. Are we gonna see the darker version of the
I wouldn't mind it.
They talked about this, and now this is
I'll tell you that promo he cut on Ziggler, where he was just being a real dick. I liked it.
Yeah, and this ties into the big moment on moments on the podcast. They brought up WrestleMania against Brock.
Oh,
he said he shot from hits on Brock. He said Brock didn't want to do anything artistically, meaning he didn't want to do too much. And well, listen, I don't.
What a lazy fucking bum.
No, listen, no, come on.
Gets paid more than everybody on the roster and doesn't want to earn a fucking dime.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. I think people got to Brock's ear and told him don't do too much in this match. That match was not did not have purposes to put Ambrose over. You remember this? That match was supposed to be a burial for Ambrose. Don't think you don't have producers and higher ups going to Brock Lesnar, who's the senior guy, and they tell him what to do in the match. Don't do too much. Just go out there, beat his ass, and end it. So I know Dean Ambrose was trying to have a great match, but he's the only one who wanted to have a great match. He's even Dean Ambrose can't see it, or he couldn't see it, or maybe he didn't want to believe it that he's being buried. See, he still says he doesn't feel I'm sabotaged, just left to my own devices. Is he being PC? Or is he scared? Because we know it was clear that he got bumped down. But anyway.
Anyone who thinks that it's okay to sabotage your own talent for the sake of a guy who's already a Hall of Famer, you're an idiot.
But I mean, if you can't call that sabotage, what do you call it?
That was sabotage. You called it.
He was the most popular performer going into.
He was your most over guy going into WrestleMania.
And then you stick him in a 10-minute worthless match. What are you going to do?
Beaten 7. No. He got beaten 7 minutes.
All right, so that's how much time they fought in the match. What do you think? What do you think the creative, the producers, Vince, Kevin Dunn? What do you think? Do you think they're going to make them have the match of the century in 7 minutes? They script it. They say, "Hey, you got 7 minutes." What's Brock Lesnar going to do? Oh, we'll do this and we'll do that. How much stuff are you going to pile? Brock Lesnar. Had the
that was one of their marquee matches, and it was a complete turd.
The whole WrestleMania. But Brock Lesnar obviously had the foresight, or somebody told him, just go out there, do the. You saw they had the suplex counter on the bottom of the screen. What does that tell you? The producers told Brock, go out there, suplex the shit out of him, and that's it. End the show. Anyway, but then also.
That pisses me off.
Listen, you want to get pissed off? Ambrose told the story about, I'm paraphrasing it. He had a great match, and he says there was a producer, I won't mention his name, he came out, and they completely bleeped this. And it was, I want to say, how much the crowd popped. And basically, he was surprised at the crowd reaction and how awesome it was, and how they never really followed up on it. And that's why Dean Ambrose, I think it was last year, there was a moment where I forgot, he just got really good in the ring. Stole the show. When he went backstage, the producer, he said he won't mention his name, and then they bleeped out the entire thing. What he said. I couldn't read lips to it. But basically it was this dumb producer was astonished at the tremendous crowd reaction. Like, meaning that he didn't know that Dean Ambrose had it in him, or he hasn't been paying attention, and that they never followed up on it. Meaning they didn't build on that on Dean Ambrose's ability and crowd reaction. So you see, he is like trying to spill out that he was sabotaged. He was held back. And he's not going to come out and say that. And then the last part was, which was a little awkward. Stone Cold challenged Ambrose to step up his game and not rest on his laurels. And Dean Ambrose, he was laughing and he said he got offended by that. But I don't know. When you have the one of the biggest draws ever giving you advice. I take
you take it to heart. You take it to heart.
I think Dean Ambrose, he was already initiated that saying that he is going to take it to the next level. But then he said, I could only do so much. In other words, Stone Cold was trying to tell him, raise your game, raise the intensity. And Ambrose told him, I can only do so much. He wants to. His head's a time.
Well, basically, the gist of that is, I want to do more. They won't let me.
Right. He could only do so much. Stone Cold was trying to tell him, raise your game.
Stone Cold himself has said many times, in this corporate environment with the handcuffs on all the guys, it's ridiculous. How do you expect these guys to reach that level of superstardom if you continue to hold them down?
There was a lot of comments online about how the interview was awkward at times. It's awkward because these guys want to shoot and tell you truth. They get to that.
But they don't want to lose their jobs.
But then they have to get held back. And you see every 5 seconds, You look at Stone Cold. He keeps peeking into the producer. I don't know what the producer's telling him. He's giving him the high sign. How much time is left? Change subject. I don't know. It's a shoot interview, but it's a work shoot. It's a shoot work. It's not really a shoot interview. But anyway, go watch it. I recommend that. But the whole gist of my Dean Ambrose WWE is that he is going with that attitude that nobody's going to stop. And I guess he got a little heat with Stone Cold. But you gonna watch that.
Well, I'm gonna watch that tomorrow at some point.
But that's about it.
No, that is just about it. Frank, will you be able to join us for SummerSlam?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Frank will be in my household for 3 straight shows. This is awesome.
Put up the extra.
Hopefully for that one, I'll be able to actually cook for you guys. Hopefully, because tomorrow's supposed to get 104-degree weather. Which
it's gonna be a long. It's gonna be a long show.
Hey, listen, if they got 4 hours, utilize that time. Any show stealers you think we're going to get out of this program? I'm going for Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. I think they're going to tear the house down.
I think we're going to really see something happen in that match. It's going to tie into the Raw the next night, and it's going to be a big angle going to Survivor Series.
Well, we shall see.
I think we'll see the formation of the Battle Club. If not Sunday, SummerSlam or the following.
All right. That's going to do it for Frank and myself. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully Frank and I will be able to get another show, and maybe the day of SummerSlam, Frank and I could do a live show and maybe give some feedback of what we think is going to happen. Maybe we'll do a half-hour episode, Frank, before SummerSlam. How's that sound?
Okay. So that will definitely follow in the SmackDown.
Because a lot of shit can happen between now and next Sunday, so we'll give our final predictions for next Sunday, and until then, take care, guys.